This is the afterthought, the aftermath of Monday night against Crystal Palace. Yeah, not a decent performance on Monday night, but yeah, we'll get into that after this short video. So we now come into the weekend after the Monday performance at Selhurst Park, and yeah, it still hurts now. I'm not gonna lie. It started the weekend, or sorry, the week very very badly, and yeah, it hurts. It does hurt to see a performance like that. Certainly after some really good things that had been happening in recent weeks, and it is what it is. But we know that happens. It's football, and you have to suck up those moments and actually just deal with them, because there's more to it than just this one game. The progress, I think, as a whole, I think we've improved massively. I think over a whole collective. Um, yeah, I think it's tempered with the lack of firepower, and that just shows with the amount of goals that we've scored this season. And yeah, when you're still conceding a few, maybe I think it's just over a goal a game, you have to start scoring goals. And if we're actually scoring goals for fun, like we can do, and like with the players that we've got, we can actually show, then we'll be getting a lot more points than we actually have done. And we have got some great results. We have picked up some wins. We have put some consistency together, and that's a massive change from recent years, where consistency has been a little bit wash, just not very good at all. But it is what it is, and we go into the weekend now at home against Brighton, and we've got to right a few wrongs, and again we've got to step up. We've got to step up to the plate. But yeah, Monday night. Where do we begin? Well, a team might be a good start. Obviously, the massive surprise in all of this was that Tavares had come in, and it was very hush hush regards to Kieran Tierney. It was I hadn't realised for quite a while, up until the game was coming, and the lineups was announced, that he was actually in trouble. You'd heard some rumours, but it didn't look like there'd been any kind of injuries over the international break, and it looks like he's obviously exerted himself over for the international break and had the two full games, and then he's come and carried on training with us, and he's broke down after that. And yeah, maybe one little kind of pull or twist on the knee, and yeah, it's now season ending, and he's in a race against time to be fit, I would say, for the World Cup. Certainly the playoffs. I don't know how he's gonna get there. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But it's a massive loss for Arsenal. But with every loss, it means that we've got opportunities for Nuno Tavares, and yeah, he's got to step up. But it wasn't an easy an easy game for him because again it's another away day has caused many issues for him. I think more for his confidence. Obviously, he had the Nottingham Forest game, and that was also a very tricky game for him because yeah, it wasn't good just for him because it's two games away from home, and he's been taken off after 45 minutes, and yeah, it must hurt him, and for a young player as well when you get your chance and you're coming in and yeah, the team collectively or even himself, you can question himself. He's big enough to identify that he probably hadn't had his best games either. But with a lack of consistency, with a lack of game time and rhythm, those kind of issues are going to come out, and the performances like that are going to show. So we have to be patient with these guys. I know I spoke after the game on the North Bank Summit, and we were talking about where do we go in the next game, and do we continue with Tavares or do we actually go back three? Certainly with the injury to Partey late in the game, which makes another conundrum for us and for Arteta in plugging the gaps in midfield. And yeah, the three at the back was the one that was being spoke about, and I come up with a formation for that. But yeah, I don't think it's probably the right thing to do. In all honesty, we're so late in the season to be chopping and changing shapes and playing around with shapes, and again, it's a gamble because we haven't really played three at the back for a while, and yeah, what happens then if we go and do a three at the back and we play with an experimental shape and the players come in and they don't do it, and we lose, and then we suddenly think again the whole mood of the club and what we've done goes even further down the pan, and yeah, we only go to show what kind of negativity we had when we lost on Monday, and that was that. But you just look at it and you just think we gotta have level heads, and yeah, I think we will over time get to where we need to get to, and we spoke about the summer being very 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 important for the club. Um, yeah, and we've just got to ride this wave and get as many points as we can up to the end of the season. We've now got 9 games now going into the Brighton game, and yeah, this lineup for the Palace game. Yeah, it was a surprise to see Ramsdale back in again. I thought Leno may have kept the sticks again and kept the gloves, but again Ramsdale has made that position his own, and if he is fit, then it's good. It's good to have him back and in goal, but you only had to hear the talk about the lineup at the start of the game, because all we heard about was Flores being on the bench, and it was leaked from his dad that he was having his first time in with the first team, and you're suddenly thinking, okay, our small squad, our small squad has seemingly got smaller. If you've got another youngster coming on the bench, and yeah, look, we had 3 academy players, in all honesty, and yeah, out of a group of 8 players for the subs, that there's not a lot of improvement. And when you've got Holding, Lokonga, El Neni, and Martinelli, and Nketiah, there isn't a huge amount to really change. But yeah, it was enough to win the game. It's not like the team that was selected is a bad team, and it has had many changes, because it hadn't. But we all know games are decided in short times, in small periods, and in that first 15 to maybe say 25 minutes, we really didn't turn up. We did, in a way. Let me get that right. We would say our first 15 minutes, or let's say the first 10 minutes, we were playing like we have done, tempo wise, and try and look to play the ball. The trouble was, Palace were even faster, and they were playing out of their skins. They were really on us. They were well drilled to press, certainly in the middle of the park, and they've got some strong midfielders in that centre. And then when you've got the pace of what they've got in the strike areas, it's a no-brainer. They're going to cause you trouble. And with the crowd at Selhurst Park, always a brilliant atmosphere, and they never stop. They never quit, and we just we struggled to match it and get the rhythm, and that was the big problem. And the period at that start was, we were looking to try and get forward, but the trouble is, everything that was coming into midfield was being miscontrolled. There was two big touches. There was no real outball to the wide areas. You had problems with Nuno Tavares when he'd pick up the ball. He didn't look comfortable to kind of play it, and then even with a Smith Rowe in front of him, there was no like real energy and proper chemistry between them, or even with any of the other midfielders that were just being so quickly harassed that there was no fluidity to our play, and we'd lose the ball very quickly, turned over, and they would look to break. And we got caught with a sucker punch and a free kick. Again, the nervousness between players early on, you saw a lot of nervy touches. Gabriel very slow, lethargic, just in his reactions to the ball, and coming in for tackles, and just generally just a little bit sluggish. But that's football. That's just the start. It's one of those. But that kind of bred into the team, and you then had Ben White coming out for a tackle, which was a very clumsy challenge, which gave Palace the free kick, which they scored from on 16 minutes, and it was a ball that we've dealt with many times over this year, and you see the ball come over, and it's dealt with. It's dealt with at the back post, and danger's done and dusted, and it's out. Kieran Tierney there, and he's probably more of a surefire. I'm getting my head in there, and I'm getting caught, and I'm getting the ball out. Tavares, unfortunately, Again, a little bit naive, maybe a little bit timid in the way he is. Just didn't look up for a challenge. And as the balls come over, the Matata just just rose above him and just he had an arm on his back to ease him down, but there was no real attempt to challenge for the ball at the back post. And yeah, Gabriel caught under the ball again, flicks the ball past, and then the guys kind of turned at the back post, and it's come off his back and then into Matata, and he's just headed it into the net. And it was an odd goal for us to give away, considering how well we've been. And yeah, it's that set the tone, and the goal knocked us even further, and you suddenly saw energy levels rise even further with Palace, and the anxiety, negativity, lack of confidence really kind of showed with Arsenal. And yeah, it just another 8 minutes on, and it's 2-0, and from a throw in for Palace, the ball gets played over into the central areas, into a defender who's then just played a diagonal pass across. You've got Xhaka being the furthest forward, trying to put pressure on the ball. You've got Lacazette missing out on a tackle on the wing. But I do wonder whether or not we have to see Lacazette there. I question whether or not, if he's still in a central area but deeper, and he's got to commit and go forward to try and press the ball, we don't concede that goal maybe. But because we've got one of our central midfielders having to kind of close down the space, we've now left ourselves open. You've got Partey still kind of in the area where the throw is into the channel and coming out. And as that ball's come across, it's just been fizzed in. Gabriel's gone to get the ball, trying to intercept it. Tavares thinks that he's going to get the ball. Neither happens. Ball goes past Gabriel, sliding in, and Tavares is too late to react to the ball coming into the player. And at the end of the day, it's one touch into the box and he's finished the ball. And that's 2-0. 2-0 after 24 minutes. And you could say that was game over, in all honesty. The way we started, it's kind of sapped everything from Arsenal, and it just looked that we weren't there at all. We weren't in the races. We weren't doing anything. And half time probably couldn't have come soon enough. But yeah, we created a chance. Lacazette headed the ball over. You question again if there was a striker with a presence. Does that guy get that header on target and a goal back? But yeah, Lacazette headed the ball over. Not really known for the heading and his physicality, but it was a chance missed. Maybe a half chance on that one, but still a chance. But then, yeah, 10 minutes later, I think we had a further chance that we would have gone behind, because Matata then had a shot that was then saved by Ramsdale and got pushed out. And then, yeah, the half just ebbed on, and then in injury time we got a corner, and Gabriel had a tame header into the goalkeeper's arms. So yeah, get the boys into half time, and it was one of those things, and you suddenly just think, Arteta you've got to get into them and really kind of make sure they understand what is at stake, because yeah, that weekend was kind to us at the start, but then you saw the other lot over the road, and yeah, they're scoring goals for fun, but again, the team in front was not was not good for them, and it's yeah they really lost. They lost badly, and yeah, it is what it is. But you have to beat those teams, and then you have to make sure you back up those results with your own performance once everyone's played. But yeah, he obviously come out and he made a straight change. He took off Nuno and yeah, brought on Martinelli. And Martinelli, we know, will show desire and he'll show intensity, and he does like to try and press and push forward. But yeah, it's going to be a struggle at 2-0 down. We've got Palace. They don't need to really go and push for it. So they can kind of sit back and soak up the pressure. But yeah, not a huge amount going on. We certainly had more of the ball, which was good. And it started showing signs that we could potentially get back into it if we did. And we then got Partey booked. Slop, I think, Ed was running forward. I think he beat 3 or 4 players. I think just going into the box. They were just coming just outside the box centrally, and Partey came across and took him out and got a yellow card. And yeah, that led on to another save by Ramsdale, which yeah, it was a well struck free kick, and yeah, he should be dealing with those. But yeah, after the hour, I think we really started to put pressure on Palace, and with the actual possession that we had, we started getting some good moments, and we were knocking the ball around, and yeah, there was a stat we'd had 80% possession in the first half, like around that mark, I think, and it go to show that yeah, once we start getting on the ball, we can make things happen. And yeah, Martinelli and Lacazette showed some good link-up play, and the ball come into the area with Emil Smith Rowe, and yeah, just needed to kind of almost get his foot through the ball, and maybe just a toe punt, just something, maybe a little bit of height, but it just was a side foot, and it was straight at the goalkeeper, and it was just like one of those moments where you suddenly think, if he gets that and he scores that goal at 2-1, we could be coming back into the game. But yeah, sadly it was like a little tickle back to the goalkeeper, and it didn't happen. So we carried on. Martinelli got took out. I think that was one. He got caught in. It was like knee to knee almost, but it looked like it really kind of took a proper blow. But this is all part of Martinelli toughening up and growing up, and getting stronger. But yeah, still with like 25 minutes left, Arteta had to kind of throw his dice, and yeah, Suarez come off for Nketiah. And it was literally gung ho. He had another striker up there trying to play with Lacazette and looking to try and get another goal, or certainly get a goal. And yeah, it nearly worked. About a minute afterwards, Nketiah was involved. He cut back a little ball into the box, and Odegaard just kind of scuffed a shot just past the post. And it was almost like one of those little double kicks where he's kind of kicked the ball onto his other foot and it's just gone past the post. If it's on target, it's a goal. And you look at that little moment and you just think there's 2 real good chances inside 4 or 5 minutes. And if one of those had gone in, then yeah, we're talking that it could be game on. But they didn't go in. and still 2-0. And yeah, I noticed Partey was signalling to the bench that he'd pulled something a little bit earlier, but then a couple of minutes later, the ball's still in play and the ball's come into the his zone centrally, and he's gone to the ball, and I'm suddenly thinking, oh no, he obviously weren't. It didn't look like he was moving, and yeah, he's gone to then either turn and then maybe swing for the ball, and he's not gone for it really. There's enough players around him to deal with Zaha moving forward, and he did, and it was one of those where he got into the box. You've then got the two central defenders in front of him, and yeah, if they're left to it, they probably would have blocked Zaha. But as Odegaard did early in the season, we gave away a penalty from just making a recovery challenge. He's come a little bit too close into Zaha, and as he's come through, and he's kind of swiped his leg away, and that was a penalty. We had a penalty shout in the first half. I think, was it the first half? Yeah, first half, and again, seen them given. That's another decision maybe. I've seen him given, but yeah, Saka went down, and an arm's come out and pushed him. I don't see a real difference between a shirt pull and that, in all honesty. But it is what it is. Partey came off, and Lokonga come on, and Palace had a penalty. 74 minutes, and yeah, Zaha scored it to make it 3-0. Game on. Oh, so game over, sorry. And yeah, that was it. That was done, dusted, and nothing else now. Arsenal just had frustration written all over them. Xhaka got booked. But then, 5 minutes later, Nketiah, who I thought was probably one of our brightest players when he come on, hit the woodwork with a curling effort, and it just bounced clear. No one to follow up, but it was a great strike. I really like the strike, and it probably wouldn't have counted in all honesty. VAR probably would have pulled it back for the foul in the build-up, but yeah, it was a nice moment. But then Xhaka had another shot from outside the area, but it was pretty tame. It was well saved, and that was it. The game ended 3-0. We have to lick our wounds. We're without two main players now, with Tierney and Partey. Yeah, this is the aftermath. So Kieran Tierney had surgery on the knee, and yeah, it isn't nice. But yeah, the big issue, I think, for us, we know we're going to be without Tierney for a long time, and yeah, he's obviously not going to be here for the rest of the season. But this man, yeah, you may say he hasn't been our most consistent player, but he's certainly come into his own the last couple of months. Certainly since December or January, and yeah, to lose him as a player in the middle, yeah, there's some big shoes to fill, and again, it's questioning now who comes in and plays. And you look at the next 3 fixtures, take the next 4 fixtures. You've got Man United just after that, but we've got some real important games now coming up, which will seal where we finish. Yeah, if there's any real slip ups now, certainly in these next 2 games, then I think we can safely say we'll be looking to fight for for fifth place, because yeah, I think there'll be too much unless we then get some big results in those games that we're not expected to win. I'm talking the Chelsea game, and I'd even go to the same, but say about the Spurs game. Yeah, we're probably not expected to win that game, but again, those games are decided on the turf, aren't they? At the end of the day, we've not won over there for a while, but we have good results at home in North London derby. So we tend to beat each other, whether or not we're at home or not, and that's how it's been recently. But yeah, the last time we beat him, I think, at White Lane was Thomas Rosicky, when he scored that real early goal in the first minute or second minute. But yeah, that's going to be a massive game at the end of the season. But hey, we have to dust ourselves down. We've got able players to come in. So I don't think it's time to panic. Tavares, I think, just needs game time, just like he did early in the season when he came in for Tierney when he was injured. But he just needs consistency now, and being able to play without fear. And what better way to do that than be at the Emirates? Yeah. So Arsenal fans, got to get behind the team, get behind the boys. Let's get some real good atmosphere in the stadium. I'll be there celebrating my birthday, which was on Wednesday. So yeah, but yeah, a nice weekend. Watching the Arsenal, and it's a proper football fest on that day. So have to get behind them. Whoever gets picked, let's make it an atmosphere that those boys are going to rise to. So come on, you Arsenal. Let's go. Cheers. This is in the North Bank. Again, please like and subscribe, guys. And yeah, really help us out. But yeah, you've watched the Afterthought. There will be a matchday preview for the game tomorrow. That will come a little bit later on. Cheers, Gooners. See you later.